Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I am Leif Eats Lemons, and I appreciate you clicking on the video. As a kid, I always grew up thinking, how cool would it be if I were able to be in two places at once? Even if I had an avatar somewhere else that I could like shift bodies into that avatar and then be the same person, that'd be so cool. The first thing that I think of when I think about that concept is actually from Black Mirror and the astronauts that go up into space and they do the space travel, but they're able to go back to an avatar back on Earth. It's a great concept, and the fact that you're able to implement it in a tactical shooter is fantastic. With that being said, we're here to compare and contrast the differences and the similarities between Valorant and Spectre Divide. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be going over 4 main topics with 3 subcategories in each one. It is essential that you stick around for the whole video to get the real scope of what makes these two games different, because it all ties in together. And it is important to understand what you're getting into before you start playing this game. So let's make things easy and start off with the similar things. They're both tactical shooters, so people are going to be playing a little bit slower than you would in, say, Call of Duty. People are sitting in more advantageous positions more frequently than not, and they're holding angles and they're doing different things. They're throwing util to prevent pushes, slow down pushes so people can rotate over, all those sorts of things. Headshots are going to be essential for higher tier play. Guaranteed. You can't spam somebody's chest and expect them not to hit you in the head. You have to hit the head. So both of these games do have abilities as well, and it's completely based on the type of character that you decide to play. Team composition factors into that, and it is fairly interchangeable between each game. And the fourth thing, honestly, I just had to throw this in here: expensive skins. They are pretty heavy. Now let's talk about the unique things that Valorant brings to the table. With the way that abilities are used in Valorant, you have more sight control, and it is a lot harder to take a sight, like retake a sight. So with Valorant, it's a lot more jiggle peaking, strafing, and tapping your A and D key, and then just tapping. With Spectre, it's not really like that. Now with Valorant, lurking is completely different because you have to dedicate an entire person to lurking. That's a person that could be potentially stopping a push onto sight. That's a person that is not defending a site, but is trying to loop around, pick off a bunch of them without anyone knowing that they're there. Now let's talk about unique things for Spectre. So something that I've noticed in Spectre is that the horizontal recoil is more robust than the vertical recoil, which is not common among FPS games. So it may feel like my crosshair was on it, but just because your crosshair's on him doesn't mean that recoil isn't shooting your shots to the left or the right. That can be a tough adjustment. With Spectre, you have 2 lives each round, as long as you're placing your other Spectre or avatar in a advantageous position that doesn't get shot for just sitting there. If it's out in the open, then you only have 1 life because they took your Spectre out. And the most unique thing that I've noticed about Spectre is it's the aim down sight capability in this game. It doesn't hurt you, it actually benefits you, which is frankly quite different than most FPS shooters that are tactical shooters such as CSGO or Valorant, because a lot of the time you're not aiming down sight and it's more of a penalty if you do. Spectre Divide is so much different in summary than Valorant is with regard to how it's played and the speed in which it's played. I noticed that the character models are definitely moving a lot slower in Spectre Divide than it is in Valorant. You move a little bit quicker. Your shift walk and things like that, you're walking. Like, it seems more realistic in that regard. Something I will say that they share in common as well is Peeker's advantage absolutely helps a lot in Spectre Divide, and it also helps in Valorant, but I wouldn't say that it helps as much. It's pretty egregious. I really enjoy Spectre Divide, especially because the games are shorter and you're not stuck with people for an extended amount of time, especially if they're being toxic or whatever else. If it's a rough game, that's okay. It sucks, but you'll get through it relatively quickly. All in all, I think that Spectre Divide is a fantastic game, and I really do believe that this could be the future of tactical shooters. I really enjoy this game and how it feels and the way that it's played. The only thing I got to get used to is horizontal recoil. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for watching the video to begin with. It means the world to me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And leave a comment down below if you think that Valorant is better than Spectre Divide or vice versa. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I love you. I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of you too.